Where do you realistically think you will place this season? Yeah, I'll keep my quads. More than 70% of them. A fair amount's happened since the last video. It's been an eventful few weeks. Obviously, last video was training with Kuba. I mentioned in that one that I'd come straight from the hospital from Em, who's now currently filming. She's sound-ish now. But yeah, it was an eventful time. But she's recovering, hence why there's flowers everywhere. Hence why she's just eating like baby food stuff. She's got some fish there and then a yogurt and a yogurt drink. The only main thing we need to update you on here now before we go, which is why I started the video, is the posing room that we had built. And now we have like posing studio down that end. We've got a full length 2 meter mirror coming from about here that's floor to ceiling and going all the way down. That's just waiting on delivery because it was like a custom made mirror. The newest addition is, so the lights we got put in, we got them put on dimmer switches. So over here we've got like, we can turn them down. We also have them in 2 strips, if you just point that way and show. So we can operate them individually there, and they're on dimmers, which is great. But obviously when we're posing, very often we're stood sort of central here for check-ins, and for posing practice we're stood this way into there. So I bought the newer, like a little bar strip light that you can, does turn on like that, and I screwed in some plates to the ceiling and it just magnets up, so then you get like the filthiest downlight when you stand here. Or if you're doing posing practice, you can spin it, it does hold, you just got to get it right. There we go, you can spin it that way, and then posing practice there with like some gnarly downlight. We've got obviously the exercise bike that used to be in the living room and the treadmill behind, and the whole room's like air conditioned and stuff. So a lot's been done. We also got new floor, nice wooden floor going all the way through that's beautiful. And that's that. So this is where I spend about 2.5 hours every morning. So I come in here, do my checking for Kyle. Depending on what day it is, it's either bike or treadmill, followed by then steps. So this morning, 35 minutes on the bike, 35 minutes steps, and then go down there, 3 rounds of posing, some mobility work, and then I go in and eat meal 1 and get on with work for the day. But I love it. Em's not really got much chance to use it because she's been crippled, but she's on the mend, which is nice. First time she's probably leaving the house today to come film me at Derby. I do feel slightly bad, but YouTube takes priority. Of which, 15k subscribers, thank you very much, very cool. Can we get 25k by the end of prep, please? In terms of bodyweight at the minute, I'm still 232 this morning. So I've been 232 for God knows how many long weeks now, 4, 5, I think. I'll put my check-in on screen now. The look has progressed significantly despite bodyweight holding, which isn't a bad thing, because I think I said it earlier in prep at the start of this prep series, is like my biggest concern this year is not condition, it's not shape, it's muscle mass. You know, I need to be big. A lot of these guys at the top, they are so fucking big now. And it's where I fell short last year. Yeah, okay, could have been a bit harder, could have been a bit leaner, that came down to the peak. But I was also just too small. I got out-muscled by most people. So the fact now that bodyweight's held for so long, I do give credit to Kyle for this. I think he's the one that's, the way he's operating it and keeping food where it is and training and pulling me back when I need to be pulled back and stuff and not hammering cardio. I think that's why I'm still so full, so round, but getting so much leaner. So even though we're still 232, I'm honestly 5 or 6 pounds leaner than I was at 232 4 or 5 weeks ago. Obviously things have changed on the back end, which is going to make a difference to that as well. But yeah, we've got, I think, my weight cap, we're going to aim for 212. I think I should get away with 219, realistically. It just depends, you know, how I sleep and what time weigh-ins are, because obviously you lose height throughout the day based off what you're doing and stuff. So I should hopefully be able to scrape 219, but the off chance, like last year I weighed in at both, I was 212 at one show, 219 at the next, and it all varied. So I'm obviously getting heightened in again this year because I don't really know how the system works anymore. But we're going to assume 212, get down there so that there's no stress. What's the typical rest times you do? Does it change for prep? Rest times vary, depends on the exercise, depends on the body part. I think typically for the legs I'm going to take a bit longer, especially if it's a heavier compound lift. But any compound there's going to be a longer rest, maybe up to 3, 4, potentially even 5 minutes if it's like in between hack squats or something like that. With isolations, you know, we're talking arms, side delts, that sort of stuff, it'll be much shorter. I think with arms especially, it probably won't be longer than a minute between. just because the pace, it's a smaller muscle, it can recover from the lactic acid much more quickly. So I wouldn't worry too much about rest times necessarily. Just make sure you've given it enough time that you're not just going to gas out from the set part prior, basically. Does it change in prep? Probably not, no. It can if I'm tired and fucking feeling it that day. I may try and rush through it a little bit quicker, but that's probably the worst thing you can do, because then my output, my performance is going to suffer and I'm going to lose muscle, as I have done in previous preps. So yeah, for me it's pretty standard. I'll take as much as I need. I think you can take too long. I think if you are training with somebody and you end up talking for 10 minutes in between a set, like, yeah, okay, it's not ideal. But I wouldn't stress too much about a specific, exactly a minute in between sets and stuff. I'd worry about more your performance rather than your rest time. Tim Parsons, where do you realistically think you will place this season? I love the content, keep it coming. Thank you, Tim. This year, so where do I realistically think I will place? New York and Pittsburgh, as the weeks have gone on, there are some serious athletes entering. So in terms of placing for Pittsburgh and New York, I'd like to be top 5. I think with the caliber of athletes doing it, that's a realistic aspiration. That's going to be hard to achieve, but I think I can do it. As for FIBO, and if I do any more shows that aren't like straight qualifiers for Olympia, I want to be pushing for the win. That is genuinely the goal. I genuinely believe I have the ability this year, which I didn't last year, so that's a nice change. But yeah, I'm competing to win those shows this year. That's very much the goal. Who do you look forward to stepping on stage this year with? I think the classic physique division, everyone's sound. Like I've got 2 seminars with Naz today. I'm just mates with him. There's no ego, there's no hostility. I think there's no ego with Naz in general, but like with myself, it's not an ego thing. Do I want to beat all of them? Absolutely. If they beat me, they were just better. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm going to go away and get better and then come back and try and beat them again. In 5 years, where do you see yourself from a bodybuilding point of view? More of the same, competing year after year at the Olympia, a little bit better than I am now, still smashing the YouTube, all that sort of stuff, and just continue on the current trajectory. That is very much the goal. But it's hard to say, who knows? In the open division, going for the open Olympia. Samson doesn't know what's coming. How many cucumbers have you been using in 2026 so far? Cucumbers are back in rotation in a higher quantity, but more so eating at this point now. They're a good, nice vegetable to eat when you're hungry, because they're like mostly water, so there's no calories. So yeah, I've been chowing down on many cucumbers. Tips to grow chest, and what about exercise selection? I wouldn't even worry about exercise selection necessarily. I'd focus more on your execution. I had quite an in-depth conversation with one of my clients this morning. It's in terms of chest growth, I think the first point of call to look at isn't your exercise selection, isn't your volume, isn't your frequency. It's how are you actually moving the weight. Are you doing presses? How are you pressing? Are you just using your delts and your triceps? I was very, very strong when I was younger. I was pressing 75 kilo dumbbells when I was like 18, 19, but I had an absolute pigeon chest. I had just no muscle there, and it was because I was all front delt, all tricep, and just basically muscled it up with very little intent behind the movement. You really need to strip it back and learn how to press with the target muscle group, so in this case your chest. What are the odds on you keeping more than 70% of your quads this time around? Thanks, mate. Yeah, fair, good question. What are the odds? I'm not a betting man. I think they're pretty high this year. I think it's good odds. But quads-wise, training has changed a lot. I think my maturity to the approach of maintaining them has changed a lot. That was something I took a lot from with Kuba. It was very valuable. Last year, I knew that I needed to keep my quads, but as prep progressed, as we were pushing cardio and digging down so hard, I kind of lost my head a bit and kept just doing more. I just add sets, and then I'd gone down to London, come back, and I'm not really thinking too much about execution, just trying to get angry and shift the weight, and then that's when I ended up like snapping my hip flexor. So yeah, I think I'm pretty confident. So far we're very lean now, getting there. Weight's not really shifting, which is a different conversation, which I'll go into in a minute. Slight concern, but quads are very, very full, very full. And I think we're also doing the exercise bike for some of my cardio sessions at the moment. We're hitting legs more frequently, and I think I've got the volume in a really good spot to where I'm not just burying myself, I'm getting the stimulus, I'm progressing on the sets I am doing, and it's just very methodical, very targeted. There's not junk volume in there per se, and it's going well, and I'm pretty confident in my own ability to sustain that for the rest of prep. So in answer to your question, ad adviger, yeah, I'll keep my quads. More than 70% of them. We got here, ate a meal in the car, so I had the chicken and some rice cakes. And now we're just waiting. We've got half hour, 20 minutes now till the first seminar. And then we've got posing in a little bit. It does sound like we are actually posing, so that's going to be fun. I think this year I've not exceeded last off-season's weight, so I didn't get heavier than I ever had before. So the quality I put on was a lot better. Our top 3 goated gym shirts from Travis. This one, number 1, which is the Eagle Script graphic t-shirt. Right, it's nice and embroidered here. I don't know if you can see that. Gymshark Power Tee, any colour, they always bring out new colours. Brown one's quite nice, the new burgundy one's lovely. That's a top pick. And then, if that's sort of oversized as well, if you want like a more tight fit compression, probably the Geo Seamless Gymshark one, it'll be on screen now. I love them. Again, they always bring out colours of that. Or like, it's like Onyx, but I find Onyx too restrictive myself. It's too tight. I don't like training and that sort of stuff, but the Geo Seamless is still really tight, but it's just like a looser feel. Feels like you're not wearing a t-shirt, so it's quite nice. Thins the ball. Advice for young bodybuilder who compare their progress with others and feel behind. Welcome to bodybuilding, right? As you can see here, I'm about to go and pose with Naz, right? Naz is where I want to get to. Am I going to sit here and compare myself? Absolutely. Am I going to get in my head about it? Absolutely. That's normal, that's bodybuilding, right? You can't control who shows up. You also compare yourself I can compare myself as much to Naz as I want to. I'm never going to be Naz. I'm never going to have his physique. I'm going to have my physique, and my physique is going to grow with what I do and when I put the work in. So you are going to compare yourself to other people. Try not to, because it ultimately means fuck all. Compare yourself all you want. Doesn't fucking matter. It's their life and it's your life. There's 2 different things. But comparing yourself and letting that take the fun out of the sport is pointless, because then why are you doing it? If you're just going to feel shit all the time, why are you doing it? You're not sat there comparing yourself to fucking Elon Musk being like, oh, I'm so broke. So just focus on yourself and focus on doing what you can to be the best version of yourself. Do you include Monster, Coke Zero in your water intake? Yes, I do. Generally, now if I'm tracking water, yes. As I get close to a show, I tend to limit them anyway and reduce them, just because the artificial sweeteners and that sort of stuff, it's going to affect different things. So when I'm really in peak week and with clients and stuff, I tend to pull it out as much as possible. At the worst, I'll have maybe 1 Monster in the morning if I'm sort of early stages of peak week. Obviously, a couple of days out, and the actual carb load, making weight, that sort of stuff. Water's so tracked anyway that it's just going to be straight water. I'm not fucking about with any of those things. So generally speaking, yeah, I would. Otherwise, it's still water at the end of the day. Like, I track the water that goes into my rice pudding. I track all of the water that goes into my body through my food and stuff. I track it all. More data, the better. My fresh, unwashed trunks. Bidding war in the comments. I will. Starting bids at £2,000. Highest bid gets my trunks. Coming up to 7:30 p.m. Back out in the studio to finish off my steps for the day. We've got about 3.5k to do, because obviously a lot of the day's been spent driving and then sitting around. So not a bad spot to be in. I can't complain. Coming back and having this space to come out to and just crank some. I was going to say crank music, but really I'm just cranking podcasts. Crank a podcast and just get some steps done. I'm going to do another few rounds of posing tonight as well, and then get to it from there. I'm feeling really good. I think routine, this prep at the minute is in a fantastic spot. I'm very happy mentally. Not that I wasn't last year, just I'm much more relaxed. I think I never thought I was immature before. I just feel like I've matured a fair bit more this last off season. Things don't stress me out as much. I'm a lot more chilled out. That may have never come across on YouTube last year, but a lot stressed me out. Whereas this year I'm much more relaxed. And I think that pays dividends, and how my feet's responding and how it looks and my overall mental well-being during the prep and everything like that. So things are very good. The guest posing was sick, was a lot of fun. Very happy with how I looked and how I compared to like all the guys I was on stage with are Olympians, each in their own right. So I'm not sure how it looks back on the footage. I've seen a few posts and stories of Instagram, and I was happy. I was also happy with my posing in sense of fitness, because we ran a round or two. It was nothing intense, and I hadn't pumped up prior or anything like that, but I've never posed as much as I am right now this far out from a show, and that was probably the fittest my posing has been on any. Cal Curry, are your buddy days behind you with the risk of injury affecting your career? Yes and no. Like, I don't think I was ever truly in a buddy phase where I was never worried about my form or my execution and the risk of injury. I know this is kind of a jokey question, but will I ever do anything risky? Am I going to be 1 rep max deadlifting, squatting, or any of that shit? No, I've not done that for 3 or 4 years now anyway. In the off season, when I'm feeling really good, really strong, will I still try and put up 7, 8 plates on a Cybex hack squat? Maybe. Will I be doing that week in, week out? No. I don't think that's what my physique needs. The risk of injury is ever so present, as you saw in the RDL's last video. So I think I'm training for a goal, and I need to be realistic in what that requires. And again, there's a maturity to training. One thing I took away from training with Kuba is, training for the goal, not for the lift or the fucking Instagram post you can get from it or anything like that. So probably, as a general conclusion, yes. Tougher to reach Mr. Olympia as an athlete or as a coach, or coach someone to the Olympia? Very good question, and I don't know, because being an Olympian yourself means genetics work for years. The genetics is the luck factor. Being a coach, you can be any coach, and you've just got to learn and work your ass off. But then you need the luck to get a client with Olympia level genetics. You can be the best coach in the world if your clients aren't Olympia level genetics, they're never going to get there. Tated BO4, most overrated exercise in your opinion? Single arm dumbbell row. I don't know if many people really rate it anymore, but in my opinion, never done it, never rated it, don't like it. Transform and Travis, advice for overcoming insecurities for first timers, not feeling ready, etc. I kind of answered this before in the car. Focus on yourself. You're not gonna feel ready. Actually, I may have answered that on stage, I can't remember. But to do something for the first time and do something well, you're not going to be comfortable. It's out of your comfort zone. You've not been there before. You've not done it. To make progress, you have to be uncomfortable. So you have to just commit, and you have to trust yourself to know that if you do everything asked of you, so get a coach you trust, number one. If you have a coach you trust, all you have to do is trust every single word they say, do everything they ask to the best of your ability, and then you will be ready. And if you're not, it's on your coach. But if you can hand on heart say you did everything possible, you are ready. That's the bottom line. And at the same time, it's your first show. There is no expectation, there is no pressure. We all do this because we love this. At the end of the day, it's bodybuilding, right? It's not like you're fucking gonna get knocked out on stage. It's bodybuilding. The only person that cares seriously that much is you. Are you ever going to expand Eagles coaching further than right now? Yes, for sure. But it's like any business, right? So for those who don't know, Eagles coaching is my coaching team. There's currently myself and 2 coaches on the team. The plethora of clients. Very successful. We've just launched our challenge as well, 8-week challenge, which we've got a number of individuals on, which is cool. And yes, I absolutely want to grow that. With the education platform now coming in, we've got over 90 seminars on there as well, which is free to all our clients. Like, we're expanding it all the time. And yes, I absolutely want more coaches on there in future to be able to help as many people as possible from, all walks of life. I'm very much focused on competitors, but we've got lifestyle coaches, we've got female lifestyle coaches. We're going to do photo shoots and all this sort of stuff, like everything involved with fitness. I want there to be someone on my team that can help with that. Fips, pips, whatever it is, fit. When you were young, did you think you would become an elite level bodybuilder? I would not say I'm an elite level bodybuilder yet. I'm a professional bodybuilder, and yes, to that I did think I was. That's what I wanted to be, and well, not since I was young. Since I was about 15, it's what I wanted to be. I thought I would be. Did I ever think I'd be at the Olympia? Don't know if it was that much of a thought at that time because it was so far off. I'm always someone who sets my sights on one thing at a time and works my absolute ass off to get that one thing. Then I set my sights on the next thing. So for the longest time, it was turning pro. Then I turned pro, and then I guess the goal was kind of get to the Olympia then. But at the same time, it was actually become a good pro, and it was focused on getting that first call out, which is what we got last year. And then this off season's been about getting to the Olympia, and that's still the mindset I'm in. When I'm at the Olympia, it will be a top 10 Olympian. Overall, my overarching goal right now, sure, the top one is top 10 Olympian. But
I break that down. It's a lot more tangible and motivating to me, I find, when they're smaller goals. It's good to have the overall picture of where you want to get to, but I think the smaller goals really help you stay focused and stay grounded and keep working towards that. Herman, doing my first ever show, Class Physique. Any tips? Get fucking peeled and nail your posing. Just focus on what you can control. You can control your condition. You can control your posing. A lot of first timers have dog shite posing, so put the hours into posing and then you'll look significantly better on stage. 10 weeks to FIBO, nearly into single digit weeks. Let's fucking get it. I'm gonna do some steps and I'll see you in the next one, which will be a full day of eating.